Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our channel. Ever since Nnamdi Kanu was rearrested, there was a lot of controversies. Some said it was in Ethiopia, some said it was in Addis Ababa, some said it was in Brazil. But eventually, the whole story ended up in Kenya. Kenya came around and said no, definitely wasn't in Kenya, and they were not aware that Nnamdi Kanu even routed his way down to Kenya. How much more him being abducted or repatriated down to Nigeria? Then there have been a series of confirmation here and there coming from the defense head of his defense counsel, that's a lawyer Ejiofor, insisting that Kenya actually broke the international law and also repatriated against his clients will, tortured him, and I said they have series of evidences to show to that when the time comes, they will do the needful. And of course, there have been Igbo lawyers, that are based in the United Kingdom, British Igbo lawyers, and other IPB members who have the laws in their hands, so to speak. They are so vast in the laws, international laws, have decided to take this case even higher. The things are unfolding, and right now, as we speak, more evidences are coming up, and information reaching every desk right now that is going viral is the fact that Kenya may actually be in for one or two things, judging the fact that things are eventually coming out from that zone. But before we go to the newspaper to find out what it is now that is new in the picture, we'd like you to subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button. Beside it, you see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as you update our channel on YouTube. Well, report has it that Nnamdi Kanu's British passport was actually found in Kenya, signaling abduction by President Muhammadu Buhari. This findings was actually done by a UK newspaper, indicating that Kanu's British passport remains in Kenya. As a result of Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer, Indigenous People of Biafra (IPOB) continues to stir controversies. That's the leader now. Evidences have shown that the Buhari administration had actually abducted and repatriated him from Kenya. Since Mr. Kanu's repatriation in June, the regime has kept mute on the country where he was taken from, even though his family, as well as his attorney Ifeanyi Ejiofor, accused the president in cahoots with government of abducting Mr. Kanu. Mr. Ejiofor claimed that Kenya's Special Police Force detained and tortured his client before he was later handed over to the Nigerian government. Before Mr. Ejiofor's assertion, the Kenyan High Commissioner to Nigeria, Wilfred Machenge, had refuted claims that Mr. Kanu was arrested in a country, describing it as a deliberately concocted false news to fuel antagonistic feelings in the minds of certain sections of Nigerian people against the people of Kenya. However, findings by The Guardian, a British outlet, indicated that Mr. Kanu's UK passport, that's United Kingdom passport, still remains in Kenya. This is strong. He was said to have entered the East African country this year with a passport on a visa expiring in June, the newspaper said. Also, Kingsley Kanu, a brother to the British Nigerian citizen, claimed that they spoke over the telephone a few days before his arrest in June. I spoke to him on phone. He was well in Nairobi. His associate said he went out. He didn't take his documents with him, so he wasn't planning on going anywhere. Then all of a sudden, we see him paraded in handcuffs in Abuja. The outlet quoted Kingsley Kanu to have said, "It is an extraordinary rendition aided by Kenyan authorities," he said, just as he maintained that it's an outrage that cannot be allowed to happen. "We are holding the Nigerian government and the Kenyan government responsible," the brother said. Kingsley further disclosed that the government of UK was in contact with the leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra's legal team, as there are worries that he would be abused in detention. Last week, the head of communications, British High Commission in Abuja, Dean Hollock, confirmed that the Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office would provide consular assistance to Mr. Kanu. With regards to any question about whether the British High Commission is providing assistance in this case, we can confirm that the Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office stands ready to provide consular assistance, Mr. Horlocks had said. The IPOB leader was arraigned at the Federal High Court Abuja, where the court ordered that he be remanded until the continuation of his trial set for July 26. He faces an 11-count charge of treason, treasonable felony, terrorism, and illegal possession of firearms, among others. Nigerians are reacting. A lot of reactions are actually flooding in. You see, a lot of things have been. We need to look at this very critically. There was the first information that flooded the internet, the media space, said, "Oh, he was in Kenya." Before the Kenyan, saying he was in Ethiopia, he was in Brazil. Some said he was being lured by a woman. Some said it was a case of monetary gain, and all manner came up. Eventually, the table landed in Kenya. And of course, there was a refutal. One of the Kenyan government officials, that is actually a high commission, they said, "Look, high commissioner said, look, it's not possible. They're not even aware that Nnamdi Kanu, came down. That this is not really fair. That this is actually propaganda being perpetrated by some, terrible, wonderful people. Let me use that word, wonderful, so that some set of people or some section or some region of the country will have, antagonistic relationship with them. They seemed quite sure of themselves that Nnamdi Kanu didn't go through that. But the brother kept on insisting that, look, I know my brother was in Kenya. It was the last place I spoke with him was in Kenya. And probably some days after, then the next thing I saw my brother was on Nigerian television handcuffed. So which means the last point of call was actually in Kenya. All right. So, but the question was, he's not in Kenya, he's in Kenya. Fine. And I just knew it was just a matter of time. There's always three sides to a story: your story, my story, and the truth, because there's always three sides. If you hear one side, don't conclude yet. Wait and hear the other side and hear the truth. By the time you see it, you get to find out the truth. The Kenyan government said no, he didn't. It was never done in the Kenyan government, Kenyan country. The Nigerian counterpart said it was a bilateral relationship we had, and as we followed due process. Up till today, they still have not mentioned the country where they were able to repatriate him back to Nigeria from. All right, then we always know that there's another story, which is the Nnamdi Kanu story. He knew exactly where they brought him out from, what happened to him, and what went down. And eventually, his lawyer had access to him. At some point, the lawyer needs to have access to him, of which the lawyer had access to him. And he told him point blank, and it was not just adopted, I'm just quoting him now, he said he was also tortured in the process. And now his international passport, not just international, but his British passport was found in Kenya, which means the last point of call was in Kenya. And the way this whole thing is going, it looks like IPOB lawyers, those in different parts of the world, are strategically waiting to go to ICC for this. I don't know how this will play out, but I think eventually those who are, conversant with the rule of law, international